What I want to do in this video is write the algebraic expressions that represent the same thing that these statements are saying. So this first statement, they say the sum of -7 and the quantity 8 times x. So the sum, so we're going to have an addition here, of -7, and the quantity 8 times x. So the quantity 8 times x, well, that's just 8x. So I can just write 8x over there. So it is -7 plus 8x. Or you could view this as the sum of -7 and the quantity 8 times x. Let's do the next one. Take the quantity -3 times x. So take the quantity -3 times x, and then add 1. And then add 1. So the quantity -3 times x, we can write that as -3x. And then we need to add 1 to that. So that's going to be plus 1. Now this one, -6 plus, so we can write -6 plus something, the product of -1 and x. So the product of -1 and x, that's just going to be -1x. -1x, which is the same thing as -x. So we can write this as -6 plus -x, or we can just write this. This is the exact same thing as -6 minus x. And we are done. First, consider the expression for -5 plus the quantity of 4 times x. Now take the product of -8 and that expression, and then add 6. So let's do it step by step. First, we're going to have this expression, -5 plus something. So it's going to be -5 plus the quantity of 4 times x. The quantity of 4 times x, well, that's just going to be 4x. So it's going to be -5 plus 4x. So that's this expression up here. Now take the product of -8. So we're going to just take -8. And we're going to multiply the product of -8 and that expression. So we're going to take -8 and multiply it. So that expression is this thing. That expression is this thing right over here. So the product, if we say the product of -8 and that expression, is going to be -8 times that expression. That expression is -5 plus 4x. So that's -8. That's that expression. The product of the two, so we could put a multiplication sign there, or we could just leave that out, and implicitly it would mean multiplication. Take the product of -8 and that expression, and then add 6. So that's, and then add 6. So that would be then adding 6 right over here. So we could write it as -8, open parentheses, -5 plus 4x, and then add 6. Let's do one more. First, consider the expression, the sum of 7 and, so that's going to be 7 plus something, and the product of -2 and x. The product of -2 and x is -2x. -2x. So it's 7 plus -2x. We could write that as 7 minus 2x. So this is equal to 7 minus 2x. These are the same expression. What expression would be 4 plus? So now we're saying 4 plus the quantity of 2 times that expression. So it's going to be 4 plus some quantity. 4 plus the quantity, I'll put that in parentheses, the quantity of 2 times, do this in magenta, of 2 times that expression, or in yellow. 2 times that expression, let me do this in blue. That expression is this thing right over here. So the 4 plus the quantity of 2 times that expression, 2 times 7 minus 2x. And we are done. First, consider the expression for take the quantity of -4 times x and add 9. So let's see, we're going to take the quantity of -4 times x. Well, -4 times x is just going to be -4x. And then they say, so we're going to take that quantity, that's this thing right over here, and then they say add 9. So let's add 9 to it. So that's this first sentence. Take the quantity of -4 times x and add 9. That's this expression right over here. Now select the answer that matches the following. The sum of 4 and the product of negative 9 and that expression. So let's think about this. The sum of 4, so we're going to take 4 and we're going to add it. We're going to add it to the product. We're going to add it to, I'm running out of colors, so maybe I will do this in, let's see, I've already used blue, and I've already used orange, I'll use green. So we're going to take that 4, the sum of 4, and the product of negative 9 and that expression. So it's going to be, we're going to add 4 to the product, so we're going to multiply negative 9 times this expression right up here. So it's negative 9 times negative 4x plus 9, plus 9. Now let's see if any of these actually match what I just wrote right over here. So let's see, this one is 4. No, here we're taking a 4 and we're multiplying it times negative 4x minus 9. And then we're subtracting 9. So this seems very different. So I'll scratch that one out. Let's see. This has positive 9 times negative 4x plus 9 plus 4. So this is very close. This says positive 9. This says negative 9. So I'll cross that one out. This one has 4 times 9x plus 4. Well, no, we have negative 4x plus 9. This is different in multiple ways, and they're multiplying it by 4 instead of negative 9. This one, let's see, we have a negative 9 being multiplied by negative 4x plus 9, by being multiplied by negative 4x plus 9, and then we are adding 4. We're adding 4. So all you have to do to go from this expression to this expression, instead of adding the 4 there, you just add the 4 here, and then these two are identical expressions. So we will go with this one right over here.